Hi, my name is Candace Burroughs, and I am a 7th grade science teacher for your student. A little bit about me. I've been teaching middle school for about 31 years. Just FYI, I've only been teaching online for a little bit less than one now. So fair warning. I've been at Washington Middle School for about 23 or so of those years. Originally, I'm from Montana. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology and Chemistry, a Bachelor of Arts degree in Education, a Master of Arts in Science Inquiry, and I'm nationally board certified, whatever that's helpful at all. Let's see. So this year in science, we cover physical science and a little bit of earth history science. So the first thing that we're going to start with is something called chemical interactions, and that's what the kids are working on right now. They've been investigating a mystery mixture and looking at physical properties and chemical properties of a mystery mixture. This will take quite a long time, so we probably won't be done with chemical interactions until the end of the semester. The second semester, we start with weather and water and sort of tie in some of the stuff we learned in chemical reactions into how weather is created and how water moves around the earth. At the end of the year, we finish with electromagnetic forces and a unit on waves. Hopefully, we'll be back in session so kids can do those things hands-on. So normally our science curriculum is very hands-on. Kids are doing a lot of labs, a lot of individual and group work together, and it's very interactive. It's a little more challenging to pull that off on online, but we're doing the best we can. And so hopefully your kids will be doing a lot of simulations. They'll be doing, seeing a lot of demonstrations and thinking about the science behind them. Our big question really is how do matter and energy interact in our world? How do they interchange with each other, and how do they move around? So yeah, depending on how the year goes, that will be our sort of order of operations. For grading purposes or scoring, assessing here, this year, I've kind of switched things around a little bit because of the online learning, and I have made our daily work, what we do on a daily basis, worth 80% of their academic grade. So really being here, being in the Zoom classes, or keeping up with the assignments as we go is really, really important. Any sort of quizzes or tests are going to be called performance assessments, and they will be worth 20% of the academic grade. So really, it's the daily work of just kind of being here and following along and participating that is counting towards the most. As I score assignments, they are scored generally on a 4-point scale depending on the assignment, but really I'm looking for anything with an A sort of category or standard would have be very complete, be very detailed. And I'm really a stickler for sort of student attempted at making sense of learning. I'm not, there's like, obviously with online, kids can certainly Google a lot of answers to questions, but most of the questions aren't necessarily googly answers. And that's not what they're designed for. The questions in their assignments are designed to have them sort of articulate their current thinking and not looking for that right answer, just what's your thinking at this time. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in their daily assignments, that they're putting that effort into that. And then just on down the line, like maybe they're not really spending a lot of time analyzing things, they're just kind of quickly answering questions, or it's not complete, or I haven't seen anything, or I don't understand their thought process. So keep in mind that I really think that learning is an ongoing process, not only learning science, but learning how to complete assignments, how to submit assignments, how to manage the technology. So students are always encouraged to complete assignments they didn't get completed, or improve assignments throughout the quarter or the semester or the year, really, to improve their score if they want to. No score is, or no grade is set in stone. There's always an opportunity to go back and improve on it. All right, tests and quizzes look a little bit like this. My grading scale is a little, it's kind of hidden there, but my grading scale is a little stretched out a little bit. So For me, 88 to 100% scores an A, 67 to 87% is a B, 51 to 66 is a C, and 0 to 50 is a D. So that kind of follows along with the district grading scheme. For students, their go-to place is Schoology. That's the district's learning management system, and that's where I start from with an update every day, materials list, everything they're going to need to do science is going to be found on Schoology. Even if we're using a different platform, the link to that platform will start in Schoology. So first step is always Schoology. That is also where I would look for if assignments are completed and turned in or submitted. So I score them through Schoology, and then once a week I sort of sync them with Skyward. So Skyward might not be totally up to date, and if it looks like students are missing work, you might look in Schoology and see if it really hasn't been submitted yet and hasn't been scored in Schoology. Just to kind of walk you through, because it is sort of important to understand how each teacher has their Schoology system set up. So when kids go to Science Schoology, they're going to find this, and these are links, just general classroom information, a quick email, their Zoom button, and this is the most important really, is their unit folders and assignments. So normally, if they show up, it gives them a list of things I want them to do before class starts. Assignments that are upcoming are listed over here. So if they have an assignment that we're working on, if they have a quiz coming up, if they were currently working on both of these assignments simultaneously in class, they're listed over there. If it's older work or they need help with those assignments, they can go to the unit folders and assignments right here. For me, this is set up by time. So the days that we worked on it in class or the days that it was assigned. And so I always tell the kids to just go ahead and open these all up so you can see what's in there. And then it might, rather than go, oh, I didn't see it in the first folder. So here's assignment number 1 and 2, assignment number 3, assignment number 4. So they can kind of keep track of how that goes. In each of these, you'll see, like for instance, let's just look at this last week's. So we've been working on assignment number 4, the mystery mixture summary. And here are resources that students can use to help them either finish up their assignment or wrap it up, or if they missed things or I got going too fast during class, they can always click on My Teacher Notes and use it to catch up on any notes that I gave them in class. So their assignments really are a combination of what I would call their science notebooks, so that's notes we're taking in class, plus their own thinking questions. So here we did some demonstrations in class, we wrote down observations, and then at some point, and we had some questions that they answered, and at some point, they were kind of on their own. So students, the blank parts are usually what students need to finish in and complete on their own. So it's a combination of notes we give in class and then their own individual work. But that's always there. I keep a running copy of the teacher notes in each of the files. The other thing that's important to look at in here is we start the class with something called a do now. And that's like a starter or just a little review or just a little question thing. And kids keep that running for 10 do nows. So they get an assignment sheet that they record this information on, and then they get a new do now every day, and they add it to that assignment. So far, the do nows look like this. So the beginning of the year ones are just looking for patterns, and so students, if they miss a day or they're late to class, because kids have issues getting on sometimes, or getting their computer to work, and they miss the do nows, they can go here and find the ones that they missed and fill that in. So hopefully everything that they need, they can find in Schoology. And all of that is this little folder right here. Now the curriculum online that we're using is from Frost Web, and we will refer back and forth to that. And I'm a little frustrated with Frost Web because it's not working as well as I'd like it to. So kids may have some issues getting logged in and logged out, and not logged out, they can get out anytime they want, but getting logged in. Oftentimes, if they just log out and re-enter the password and the username, they can get back in. But if they're in and they go to their student page, so we're starting with chemical interactions, they would click on this. And here's the resources available on FOSWeb. So these are interactive sites over here. Kids last week did the two substance reaction where they could actually mix two substances and see what the results are. So they could mix calcium carbonate and they could mix citric acid and add some water to it, and they could actually see what the reaction looked like. So, and then they recorded their observations and stuff like that. Also on this site is their reading. And so we don't do a lot of readings in here, but we will do one some occasionally. And so there is this link for the interactive ebook. And if they click on that, it's really nice because this interactive ebook allows them to listen to it being read to them. There's small little videos that are embedded into the reading. And so it's a very user-friendly sort of resource. So this is really technically their textbook, but it's any readings we do in class or textbook readings will come from that. All right. So those are the things ooh, hey, whoa. That's what is on their Schoology page and the information that you can find there. Now, the next thing, if they submit work or how to resubmit work. So all of the assignments will be through Schoology. All the kids know how to submit that. There's a button that says submit. They just submit it when they're ready. Once submitted, if they score poorly on it, they'll have to email me and ask me to unsubmit it so they can improve it if they want to, which that'd be great. So I've already had kids that didn't really quite understand the scoring system and got poor scores on their first assignment and emailed me, would please unsubmit that so I can improve on it, and I unsubmit it. They finish it or check their answers and resubmit it, and I rescore it. And again, there is no grade penalty for turning assignments in late or asking to redo or unsubmit assignments. Learning is an ongoing process. Anytime they want to learn a little bit more, I'm all for it. Class expectations. So it's really kind of imperative that if they can attend the Zoom classes that they do, because I really go through and we do the notes together, and kids they don't actually talk during a Zoom class because no one wants to talk, but they will chat away in the chat box. And so that is really helpful for a lot of kids to see what other kids are chatting with and see what's going on as we go. If they're unable to attend the Zoom class, they'll have to navigate Schoology and get the notes and catch up with the do now and that sort of thing, and look at all the resources that are linked there. It's also imperative that they try to participate as much as possible. I'm sure that in the other videos, maybe teachers have already talked about this. Students are really reticent to jump right in there and carry on a conversation. But the chat box is a whole new story. A lot of kids will really give a lot of information in the chat box, and that just really helps a lot to have that running commentary of their ideas, what they're thinking, their little side jokes, that sort of thing. But participating as much as possible with what's going on in class. And also, as I'm taking notes in class, because I do the teacher copy in class, kids should be taking their own notes on their own assignment at the same time. So they're kind of following along and answering the questions as we go. The assignments are set up as a sort of learning progression. So we learn a little bit, think about it, learn a little bit more, think about it. It's not set up to go back at some point and just kind of go fill in all the blanks at once. Not that you can't do that. It's just that it's more helpful, I think, for students to do it in the order that it's laid out. So that is my spiel for 7th grade science. I hope that that's helpful. And if you have any questions and I just didn't think of something to talk about that needed to be addressed, please email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much.